Well, good evening, everybody. Sorry, we're a couple minutes late. There's always something that happens, and my computer froze up. So, thanks for sticking with us and joining us here on the Lost Limbs Foundation Radio Network. We got to change that because it's not a radio. I can see you right there.
I
So,
know. We're looking at each other, right?
yeah, the face made for radio here, but it's like we're not on radio. But
Yeah.
so, do
So
you guys
how's
have?
it going, Robin?
Oh, it's now that I'm back up. Yeah, it's going fine now. It's like just shut down like 1 minute till 8. I'm like, no. Computer's like, it's like, damn it, I don't have time for that right now. But now it's
But
going.
that's the way.
Yeah, it's the way the thing goes.
Yeah, and it's always something, right?
It
Yeah.
seems like it. But
Got to
we had a
keep
pretty good
things
weekend.
interesting.
Oh yeah, it's always like that. But yeah, we had a pretty good weekend. We had an open house out there, and then we had the kids' day on Saturday, and that went really well. So we made able to make $1,000 donation to Lost Limbs with that. So
I was just getting ready to say I was going to mention that $1,000 donation, which is awesome. Thank you.
So yep. That's no problem. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to look at something here, something that we're also doing. And, most people that know, I do a birthday thing each year as a fundraiser for Lost Limbs. And I kind of threw a challenge out this year. If we can get 10,000 likes on the Ashmore Estates Facebook page, by the time that we get done with the challenge there, basically, or the what we're doing with the birthday deal, the fundraiser, we're going to donate an extra $1,000. So
that's awesome.
Our goal was 6,500. So hopefully it'll end up being 7,500 because we've been
That's
it's been right in that. Yeah, it's been crazy, but it's something we did that we were able to donate some stuff and had people donate things to us and just did a raffle. And so each year it's been around that $5,000 to $6,000 mark over the last 2 or 3 years. So looking forward to that
amazing.
again.
It's been amazing.
But how about you? Anything going on exciting there at Rhodes?
Just keeping busy. Just the usual. The weekends are booked up. I think we might still have maybe that one Saturday that might still be open. I'm not sure. Other than that, everything's pretty booked up. Solid.
Cool. Well, let's. I'll let you introduce our guest, and we'll get him in here and get things going with Dustin.
Yes, sounds good. So tonight we have Mr. Dustin Pari from Ghost Hunters and GHI and all that. So welcome, Dustin. Good to see you again.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you tonight?
Doing great. Especially
doing great.
Since I was a little late, but we were up and running. We were ready to go, and then it shut down on me. But then you're here, so you're like the first one we've had on time that's been here with us. So thank you.
My pleasure. I tried to log in a little early, and there were hurdles. Like I use Firefox, and so I opened up the Facebook to go to the Messenger to get the link for Firefox, but Messenger won't open in Firefox. So then I go to Safari, and I open Messenger. But then the link for StreamYard won't open in Messenger. So I had to bring it back to Firefox. I'm like, what the heck is going on? But we made it happen. We find ways around. It's all good.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Technology. Wonderful things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed.
Always fun.
Yeah.
What's new in the life of Dustin Pari?
Oh, we stayed busy, man. I just finished a lecture. Virtual lectures have been really kind to me, thankfully. So I just finished one about an hour ago for a library in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And I think I've got 27 lectures left this October. So a lot of virtual lectures and stuff. I have some live appearances and everything, but I've been doing stuff constantly and been busy. I just got back. I was on the road. I started filming with Ghost Hunters again. So I did a couple episodes with those guys this season. So And it's so nice to see you guys on the road this year. It's nice that we've had the opportunity to get back out there and do what we do,
It's good to see you again.
It's been fun. Yeah, you had a chance to see you up in Duluth. And I think, I'm not sure if you're not going to be at DeadCon when we go up there, I don't think, or Scarefest,
No, I'm not at those two. I think the next I go see the next big road trip. Let's say I go up to Buffalo area to go to Dan Klass's place up there. We're doing something at the Oddities, and then I go down to Vegas in December. So still got a couple of road trips left this year.
Yeah, Mike will be out in Vegas.
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be warm. It'll be warm too, instead of freezing like over here.
Yeah, thankfully, it's good. It's fine with me.
I've got one cold appearance left. I'm going to Michigan to Dundee in November for a fundraiser for the old mill there. So that'll be chilly for sure, but it's always a good time there. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, your schedule is crazy. I was looking and it said you had I think you posted the other day you had 42 more events this year.
42 more left this year. And I think I'm on pace. I think it's 83 or 84 events total this year. So last year was 80, really, because I learned how to play the virtual game early, and so I marketed myself all across the country. So there were days in October I was doing 3 to 5 lectures a night. I would just stay here and just keep doing lectures. But this year I didn't think we were going to top it. But this year, with the mix of in person and such, I got to go out and do some more. So I'm just so thankful for all the opportunities. People seem to genuinely like me, so that's a good thing, So I'm thankful for that, and I've been able to do a lot of good work. I did a fundraiser for Tim Miley's Portagrass. We raised almost $4,600 for the No-Kill Shelter in Wisconsin, and we do some good work here and there. I'm doing some. I have another lecture we haven't announced yet, but it's going to be a fundraiser for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So just like you guys, always looking to give back, always looking to do what I can to help out, and thankful for all the opportunities that keep coming along the way.
Now, you do a lot with the suicide prevention, I think, as far as promoting, maybe not so much appearances at their events and all, but you promote that a lot, which I respect you for that. I mean, that's something that's tough to, especially nowadays, you still see a lot of that going on.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man. It's sad, when I work in healthcare. One of the girls that I work with today told me that one of the children that's in her son's class, in her son's high school, just died by suicide last night, and it's just so heartbreaking, And I remember being a teenager, man. Life is tough, right? And I mean, it's always tough. It's, as I always tell people, we're spirits going through this human experience, and we're not from here. We don't stay here, and while we're here, sometimes the disconnect between our spiritual selves and this material reality becomes very difficult, and it can become very painful. And if you're not surrounded with the right people and you don't have the right outlets and the right skill set, it can be very dark very quickly. And I mean, high school is not easy. Being a kid in this world is not easy. Growing into adult isn't easy. But so I try to do a lot of work with the kids, because I know that the future is bright if you can just get to it. If you can just keep your eyes on the horizon and keep going forward a little bit more each day, it does get better. But it's not a straight line up, It's always kind of back and forth, and some of those days it just gets too tough. That's why every night I always sign off on my Twitter with the phone number for AFSP, because I believe in leaving that light on in hopes that if somebody needs it, they can go ahead and find it. So because we have to be here for each other. We don't need to tear each other apart. We need to be here for each other. That's what the whole damn thing's about.
Yep. Yeah, we were going to do a suicide awareness event. Actually, in 2020 at Ashmore, we had to cancel it. You were going to be our keynote guest speaker there. Yeah. And I still want to do that. I didn't schedule anything this year really at Ashmore, just because you didn't know what was going to happen. Right. And I didn't want to cancel everything all over again and do all that. So hopefully next year, maybe try to do something like that and see if I can't, put something like that again together, because it is something that we need to be aware of. And I just saw just recently, it came across my Facebook page where somebody in the paranormal field had committed suicide. And, that's just, we need to do everything we can to start, to help those people out. And like myself, like you, I'm involved with EMS, and we get calls all the time like that, something like that. And a lot of them are high school, and they just can't handle it. And the bullying situation in high school just tears them up. So it's something we got to be aware of.
Well, when we were kids, you go home, you have a bad day, somebody makes fun of you, you have a hard time, you get a breakup or whatever. You'd be able to go home and then kind of, you don't forget about it, but you could step away from it. But, with social media and everything, you can never get away from it. And then other people pile on, people that don't even know you, and it's just, it's very difficult. People don't realize how strong their words are, and how angry people get and the way they can make you feel. And it can tear people apart for sure. So, it's technology is that double-edged sword. It can connect people, it can help people, but it can really tear people apart really quick too. And I think that's what happens for a lot of the youth today. Because one of the statistics that bothers me the most is the rise between 11 and 15-year-olds that are dying by suicide, and I really attribute it to a lot of the disconnect that they feel because the way the world works, because everything's technology first. We don't have a lot of face-to-face time. We don't have a lot of personal connection like we used to. Parents work 2-3 jobs or whatever. Kids come home. They may not have somebody to talk to. It gets very difficult. And it's a tough thing. But I don't know. I just try to use the little platform I have to try to help however I can. So anytime you guys want me to help out with anything, I'm always game, man. Love to work with you guys, and love what you both do between lost limbs and suicide prevention. So anything, man, I'm always up for it.
Yep. Well, then, I was recently on your website too, and was checking some things out, and you went out and talked to a school, I think in Michigan, maybe it's Sault Ste. Marie even, and you talked to the kids up there and brought them up on stage and had them draw something out of the box and all. So if you have not been on Dustin's website, go to his website. It's not just a typical ghost hunters type website or everything ghost type website. It's got a lot of messages on there, and there's a couple that really hit home. I mean, I listened to your hey, you got a minute, some of those on there too, and those are great. I just enjoyed those.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Hey Got a Minute is my YouTube series. For anybody who's not familiar, everyone's just 2 to 3 minutes long. I dress up in costume and everything. I try to have a lot of fun with it, but I try to have a motivational message, and then just a quick description of how you can apply it for your life, looking at great religious teachers and leaders, different philosophies, rock stars, anything that has inspired me in some way, I try to pass along. And my good buddy Cody Desmian, he and I have been working on. We have a whole new batch of them, but with October here, we don't have time to sit and edit. But we filmed, I don't even know, like 63 or 70 something more episodes. So we will have a whole new batch coming out. We're going to edit in November, so they should be out by the end of the year, hopefully. But Hey, Get a Minute on YouTube. They're on my website too. I appreciate that, Robin. Try to just shed a little light where we can,
Oh yeah, and like I said, you're in costume. They're rather humorous, but they come across with the message.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
That's it. A little spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down.
That's right.
Yeah. You're always so positive. That's one of the big things I like about you. It's like you seem always positive. Like every time I run into you in events, or if it's just sending messages back and forth or something, I mean, you always have those positive messages for no matter what's going on with people.
Yeah, well, thanks, man. And I tell people, like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows for me all the time either. I find ways for me, like I love taking long walks. I go to the cemetery a lot. No ghost hunting stuff, but I like to clean up the old stones and everything. I go to the gym like every day. Like I just find ways to mentally help myself get through things, because I'm subject to all the same stuff everybody else is. But I really think a lot of it has to do with how we focus and what we look for. And when people say, "Oh, you're so happy all the time," I appreciate it, but it really is a practice. Like it's just like we can choose to focus on the negative side of things. We can choose to focus on the light side. It just takes a little practice to get used to finding that. And a lot of situations, sometimes it's not that easy, but it doesn't mean it can't be done. And not every day is going to be a home run, but you're thankful for the little things, and those little things add up. So I try to keep focused on those. It keeps me going forward.
Have you been doing any type of virtual? I mean, I know you've been doing a bunch of them out there for different, with messages and things like that through different organizations. But have you done anything like on your own just to set it up where people can listen in to what you're doing?
I'm working on. So I recently started working with a new young lady, Linda White, as a manager for this stuff that I'm trying to do. Because I've got a lot of ideas of when I want to do my motivational work and ways to bring it to people. But with the, as you've mentioned, I work in healthcare by day, and it ends up being 9 to 10 hours a day. Sometimes there isn't enough time to put it all together. So I'm working on creating material, and we're working on some new platforms and ways to bring that forward to people. So I'm hoping to get that really launched in 2022. Because I got to finish up all the events for this year. But I've been cultivating some new ideas. I've been writing a lot of new things. And I'm excited about what the future holds, and I'm starting to get more recognition for that too, which I appreciate, because it used to be people would just come to the events and they come to my table and they talk ghost stuff, which is great. You dance with who brought you, and I love the paranormal. I love it more because of the spirituality of it. I've never been a gore guy. I've never been a scare guy or a horror guy. I love the fact that we're all spirits and that we can interact and connect with the spiritual realm if we focus and choose to. And that's given me the opportunities to do these other things. But now most of the people that come to my tables and stuff at events, God bless them, love them, have like personal messages or they remember when I reach out to them about something or emailed them. And it's become more of a motivational thing. It's become more of a community. And then a lot of people come to talk to me about my hairless cat too. And that's also like whatever works. But it's interesting, man. It's cool.
Well, that'd be good. Yeah, hopefully let us know, because make sure everybody knows what's going on, because we want to make sure we get that out there so people can tune into you.
Will do, for sure. Thank you very much. Thank you. And this was exciting for me. On a paranormal level, as a presenter and a lecturer at a lot of things, I kind of like fanboyed out a little bit. I was contacted this year by Pixar Animation Studios to do a virtual Zoom lecture about the paranormal for them later this month, and I was like, I thought it was like somebody like kind of like pulling one over on me at first, because I'm like, how would they contact me? But it's so cool. Like even filling out their paperwork and stuff, like it has like characters from Inside Out on it, and like Sully's on there from Monsters Inc. I'm like living the dream here. I'm like, this is gonna be so cool to be a part of that. And those opportunities, like you never know. Like that's why I always tell people, you can make the most out of every opportunity that you can get. I've done library lectures where there's just 2 people there in the librarian a couple of years ago, and sometimes you go and it's a home run all the time. Other times it's not so much, but it doesn't mean that whatever message you're putting out there, whatever your topic is, you always need to do your best, because you never know who's in the audience or what it's going to mean to them or what else it could lead for you and as you go down the line,
No, and I told that to Mike before when we talked at different events and all we go to. You never know when that one person comes up to the table that, especially with him with losing a leg and doing the thing for the foundation, where you're going to hit home with these people, and it's going to make a difference with them.
I have to say, on social media side of things, Mike, I really like when you do that's how I lost my leg photograph.
Yeah,
over it or whatever it may be, or you're fighting with Chad Lindbergh somewhere. Like it's just so entertaining. It's such a great way to bring attention to what you stand for and what you do. It's just really cool, man. Very unique.
I'm thanking Jeff Blanger for that. Don't
thank him for anything. His head, dear Lord,
we'll never get all the credit and be like, it's all me.
But honestly, Belanger's such a good friend of mine. He is the one, like, I have to give 100% of the credit to helping me get started locally. Like I would speak at events and do things there, but I knew nothing about how to put together like a program and do like a library circuit and things like that. And like Jeff, I love Jeff a lot. Like we give each other a hard time, but it's just because we really care for each other so much. But like we always say, like there's plenty of money for everybody. There's plenty of opportunities for everybody. There's plenty of dead people to talk to for everybody, and some people feel like they get into something like they have to control it. They have to smother it. And they can't let other people do anything with it. We see investigators like that with places, they want that to be their home base and only they investigate there. It's like, that's not what any of this is about. There should be a shared opportunity, and we grow by helping people and helping others and showing what we've learned. If we try to keep all the knowledge for ourselves, whatever it is that you've learned, you're doing a great disservice. Because you're not spreading that. And there's opportunity for everybody. And I really believe that the more you give in this life, the more that you get back. And it's just a wonderful little circle.
Yeah. Well, even in the video that Mike and Chad that took, that it was the cameraman is what it was. I mean, that had to be the whole situation.
Oh, is that who made that magic happen?
It was the cameraman that made that happen. Yeah. So
yeah,
Robbin, who would that cameraman be?
I can't remember offhand.
Wonder.
But, so
yeah.
But no, there was a lady that made, I think it was a lady that made a comment that about, with Mike, because I think they lost a leg, and he was kind of an inspiration that he was able to do this stuff and jump around the one leg and all. And then he thought maybe I should get up and start doing more of this type of stuff too. So, so you never know. That little video touched somebody's life that also lost a limb.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to start doing more of those, like what you were talking about. I mean, just doing different things like that to bring more attention and stuff. And I do have some more things, and even when we were in Michigan, Jeff was taking some pictures that I need to post to be like, oh, that's how I lost my leg.
Yeah.
So it's like, I have to give him credit for that. Like, I tease him about it. Like, next time you see him, ask him about, because like when we were in Michigan at Paracon, I was staying at a table and was talking, and he was standing back like off to the side, and I thought, what's he doing? So then he comes up and he's just like, oh, can I borrow those? I was on the crutches, and I was just like, what?
Right.
He was like, oh, I was trying to think of something mean. I was like, that's the best you got? Yeah, I was like, that's the best you got? I was like, can you come up with something better? I gave him the whole weekend. He never came up with anything better. But then he told me, he was just like, you should just start posting random stuff, like go to a restaurant and be eating an order of fries and be like, that's how I lost my leg. It's like, just post stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Just do silly things. So then I was just like, all right, yeah, maybe I'll give it a shot. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll start posting random crazy stuff.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I dig it. I like everything I do. It always catches my eye, man. It's really cool.
So we need everybody that's listening and watching and all to send Mike a message and to give him an idea of a video or a picture to take of how he lost his leg.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
I
like
do have some stash.
Hang out near the Shark Tank at like the aquarium. Like that's a pretty good one. Yeah. I love aquariums. I haven't been to an aquarium in a while. I always get very sleepy and peaceful in them, though. I like that.
It's relaxing.
It is. It's like going back in the womb, except there's fish.
Fish. That could be a problem.
Mom was a big woman.
So when's the next big event?
The next big events. Let's see. I think we're all libraries and Pixar, local libraries, virtuals this month, and then it's going to be Dundee. Dundee is the next road trip. So that's in early November. Go out to Dundee. A week after Dundee, we go up. I want to say it's Depew. I always mispronounce it. Up near Buffalo area to do the oddities lecture for Dan Class, and then we've got Thanksgiving, which is fantastic. I did not get my invitation to ride the turkey at the parade, but I still remain hopeful. And then we'll be in Vegas, and then I've got a lot of Christmas lectures and stuff. As much as I like doing the paranormal lectures, I love Christmas so much. I just find so much hope in that time of year, and there's so much good stuff you can put in those messages. So we got a lot of Christmas lectures scheduled for this year too, and I'm working on an event that will soon be announced in the New England area, actually for December, with Mr. Brian Cano. So we haven't announced it yet, but hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have all the T's crossed and the I's dotted. So we'll be able to announce that. So it's going to be a very festive, special event here in the New England area in November. In December, if it all comes together. So almost there.
Well, that's cool.
Busy man.
Yeah, and I really don't know where the heck I am half the time. Like I just get up, like go to work. I honestly have to check my event page on my website a lot because I'm like, I don't know what's going on half the time. But it's just, again, thankful for the opportunities. I don't rest a lot. I don't sleep a lot, but I'm getting a lot of things done. So, I don't know. But all good stuff is coming, and I've got more ideas. So I'm starting to feel like the day job's starting to get in the way a bit. Like, I mean, you got to do, like, I get it, but I'm like, I've got so many ideas and so many things I want to do. And it's like, if I could sit and write for 8 hours a day, I'd be like, oh my God, I have so much stuff I could crank out. But so I'm trying to find more time, like take a little time off here and there to focus on those things. Because, life is, you got to balance. You got to do the day job. You got to do the passion gigs. So we're working on that stuff, but there's a lot of it,
Yeah. Speaking of busy stuff, not too much further down the road, you're going to be making an appearance on Ghost Hunters, right?
Yeah, October 31st is the first new episode. That's going to be on Destination Plus. No, wait, Discovery
Discovery
Plus.
Plus.
Discovery Plus.
I don't know how to watch TV anymore. I keep telling people. We used to have
Who
the
has time
TV.
for TV?
Yeah, like we had the TV with like the rabbit ear antennas on it when I grew up. Like that's, we put the aluminum foil to try to get the stations from Boston and stuff. And now it's like there's platforms. I can watch things on my phone. I have to download apps. Like I get very confused by it all. But yeah, the new Ghost Hunters is going to be on Discovery Plus. So the first episode is Halloween night, and I filmed 3 episodes with them for this season. So which I'm very thankful for. It's hard to balance because again, like we have to get time off work to go do that stuff. We had some great cases, and it was really cool to just be back with the team again and kind of doing what I really enjoy with people I enjoy working with. So we had some really cool stuff, and I'm excited for people to see it. And hopefully people like seeing me back on there again, and we'll see what happens, when the next season comes around. But everyone's been so generous with their time with me and allowing me to be out there with them. And we had some good stuff and some really cool cases. So I think people will enjoy it.
Yeah, that's great. Where can you have they announced where the first case is going to be, or the first episode? Which
I
location?
don't think they've announced any of that stuff specifically. There was a photo release that I saw that showed us in a prison that many people have seen before. So if you're watching that, you might recognize it, and so that was pretty cool. And the other places are locations I've never investigated before, and I don't think the team has either. So at least the ones I've been on with them are relatively new, and I know at least one of them has been untouched by any group before. So it was really cool opportunities to do these things, and I think people are going to dig what we found and the interactions that we've had. My buddy Cody Desbian, he was on an episode as well. He and Satori, Jay's daughter, they do a whole paranormal couple museum thing now, and he's been a good buddy of mine for years, and I wish him all the success in the world. But they got to do an episode of Ghost Hunters 2 that I know is just going to be fantastic. So a lot of cool stuff for people to look for, and thankful. Like I said, I'm just thankful to be a part of it again. So it's been really cool. It's like it's weird. Like I leave for a while, and then I get brought back again, and like I don't know. I just go where I'm guided. Wherever I'm needed, I'm happy to help out. So
yeah, that's great. I'm glad to see you back on. I'm glad to see you on there.
Yeah,
It'll be fun.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, I just try to have a good time
forward
with it. I just try to be respectful and have fun.
Terry mentioned that she seen you guys, you and John out at Zaffis out at Ashmore is the last time she's seen you.
Oh
And
yeah.
if you've never seen John Zappis and Dustin together, you need to do that. These guys, they just feed off each other. They're just it's a riot. Just listening to you guys and talking to you and having fun with you guys when you're doing events.
We have so much fun. Actually, just before I joined this show this evening, I was basically heckling John as he was on Tim Shaw's show. So I was just typing things in to kind of work the old man. But I first met Johnny. I knew of John Zaffis, of course, and living in Rhode Island, I knew he was in Connecticut. He wasn't far, but I never had opportunity to meet him. And before I worked with Ghost Hunters, I never thought like I would meet John, because why would he ever take the time to meet some random guy? But John has got such a big heart, and I've learned so much from him over the years. And the first time I ever met Zaffis was actually at the Conjuring House over in Harrisville, Rhode Island, and we were like the first team to go in there since his aunt and uncle. And John was there with us, and it was just so cool. Like I'm at this iconic location with this guy who's a legend, and we became good friends over the years, traveling around doing events together. We did one event once down at Waverly, and there was a blizzard, and all the other flights got canceled. Nobody else was going to make it, and so I rented a car, and I called the old man. I'm like, Johnny, I'll swing by the house and pick you up. And it took us 17 hours to get there. It was just nonstop snow, and I got my Elvis music on. I'm singing, and John's like cussing and doing what he does, and he like dozing off, and like the wind and the snow's coming down. I can't see. And I'm just trying to drive us through, and I'm looking over at him. He's laying there sleeping, and I'm thinking, I have to be careful. Like if something happens and we get into an accident, like I don't want to be the guy to kill like Paranormal Mike Royal, you know. And the way he tells the story, it took like 3 years to get there, but it was a 17-hour journey of just me and John Zaffis in a rental car. And I just remember thinking, like the kid in me is thinking, like this is the most amazing thing. Like, and here I am, you know. And but yeah, we've become really good friends over the years. We have so much fun together, and you know, bust each other's chops a lot, and always look out for each other. And that's the thing I love about working in this field, like we do. Like, I mean, you meet people like Robbin. I remember when you picked Zaffis and I up, and I still have the picture. You picked Zaffis and I up to come out to Ashmore to do that event, and you bring us to this hotel. And I remember when you're driving us there, you're like, I don't know why anybody would put you here. If I had booked this, I would put you guys in this hotel. And it was like busted up like a week or two before for like a brothel, for like prostitution. It had indoor, outdoor grass like in the walkways. And the guy at the front desk looked like something out of a horror movie. It was like 1 a.m. He had these mirrored sunglasses on. He was a wrinkled old raisin of a man with this round brimmed hat. And he was just standing there in this black suit and tie, stoically staring like I thought he was fake. And he walked John to his room, and John was texting me. I was all mad. It's the strangest damn thing. It was just so great. I still have that photo because it was so weird. Like the first time I met Robbin, and like, but like, you take to each other. You take care of each other. You learn the road together. You know, it's like a good mix of people. And there's always some bad seeds, but for the most part, man, like you find your tribe, and you know we work through life together. But man, what a weird time that was.
Yeah. In fact, actually, if you remember right, I was joking about it was a good place to go if you wanted to be late night and have entertainment, so to speak.
Yes.
And as we pull in the parking lot, there's 2 girls with go-go boots onto their thighs and short skirts. And I think you mentioned something like, "Well, Johnny, I got the one in such and such, whatever she was wearing, and you can have the other one." So like, it was bad.
Oh my God, what a weird time, man! So strange.
Of course, you know, after we go back and laugh at that, but then the guy that was the promoter behind that whole event, that was, you know, it was like, yeah, it's what you would expect from him.
Yeah, so, it all fell apart after that, surely.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, in fact, I told people, I said, I think that might have been the last event that he actually paid people for.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
because after that, I think they pretty much anybody that did events with him lost everything. They lost it all.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, man. Like I said, there's always, you know, there's good and bad in the world and the field and everything else, and you just try to associate yourself with good people and hope that everything works out, you know. So, Terry almost stayed at that hotel. Well, good thing you didn't, Terry. It was awful.
Yeah, it was not a pleasant one. So
no. There were cats there too. There were cats in some of the rooms, like the windows. You could see them. I guess people were like living there, and they had animals. It was very odd.
Yeah, it was
Barry
definitely different.
Kling is there. Hey, what's up, Barry? Haven't seen you in forever, man. Barry Kling brought me to a steakhouse in Texas, and the damn baked potatoes were like the size of football. It was the most amazing. And he was like, "Oh yeah, we do everything like this in Texas." I'm like, "My God!" Like it was amazing. I love a baked potato, but it was like it was a meal in itself.
Have you seen his little brother? I mean, you know,
right?
And Barry's actually going to be with us next week. So
awesome, good guy.
Yeah, I repeated. You know, I can't say anything too much about when, but let's just say that Dustin's probably going to show up someplace next year at Ashmore.
Indeed.
You know, sometime he'll be there. I can't really say when because I don't think it's been announced yet, but
right.
I will say that he's going to be at Ashmore sometime next year.
Yeah, in perhaps the 4th month of the calendar year.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah.
So,
there's clues everywhere. You just have to look for it.
Yeah, exactly. So you know the Tims are smiling upon us. So
well done, Robin.
But
yeah, we're gonna have a good time. I look forward to it. I haven't been there in a while, but I look forward to it. Should be a good time. I think the last time I was there was with Groff.
Oh yeah.
I think you've only been to Ashmore once that I know of.
No, I've been there twice. I think so. In my mind, I've been there twice.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I thought I was there with Nick Groff one time, and Lee Kirkland.
Is that Ashmore?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to every one of those that Nick's been to. I don't remember. In fact, I think Mike, you've been to about every time that
Most of them, yeah. I don't remember.
So, maybe it's
There
a
was
new
a
one that
few
you
I
guys
missed.
just gonna put up. Yeah. So
There's a few I missed at Ashmore though. So
It's tough. It's always dark, and I never know where I really am. That's pretty much been all of my paranormal career.
You get in and out of those places. You're there for a few days, and you're in and fly in and fly out, and that's on to the next one.
It's like crazy. Like last week or the week before, I left the day job. I drove down to I almost said Denmark. That'd be a hell of a drive. I drove down to Jersey. I met Brian Cano in Jersey. We drove from there over to Philly. We spent the night in Philly, did an event at Fort Mifflin, finished the event at Fort Mifflin, drove back to Jersey, slept at Jersey, got up, did an event in Jersey, drove home, worked the day job for 8 hours, and then get on a plane and flew out to Pennsylvania to film again. And I was like, I haven't been in the same bed in like 5 nights. I don't even know where I am. I could just keep getting up and doing whatever the next thing is. It's weird.
I used to do that when I was young. Wake up and you're like, where am I at? And how did I get here? But
right.
But I think there was something else involved at that time. But
might have been.
Other than just too many weekends. But
the international show was always weird too, because you're already a little confused because you're in a new place and like the language is often different. But we would change countries, not even like hotels. You change countries every 2 weeks, and sometimes we'd be gone for like a month and a half. And there were mornings where I woke up so exhausted because they would make us film to sun up to make sure they get the most out of their time there. That I would wake up and just have I remember checking the currency to see what country I was in because I literally had no idea. Like it became such a blur after almost 2 years of being on the road constantly. I really didn't know where the heck I was anymore. It was always dark. It was always late. You're always in some place where no one spoke the right language that you understood, and the food was always garbage, except in Italy. Italy was nice.
Doing these events, everybody thinks it's always a blast, and it is fun, but it's also a lot of time and a lot of effort to get. I mean, I see you at the airports, 4:00 in the morning or something crazy, and I don't think realize sometimes what it takes to get somebody to one of these events like that.
And then they come to your table and they say, "You look so tired."
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
I was flirting with the idea of starting to become one of those people that wear the sunglasses at the table the whole time, so I don't look like I'm half dead. But there's a lot of times it's just it's exhausting. Like I'm so thankful for the opportunities to do it, but it really runs you down. And then like once a week, usually Saturday into Sunday, if I'm not on the road, I have what I call my Odin sleep. And I sleep for like 12 hours, just completely knock out because the rest of the week is like 4 to 6 hours, maybe a night, because I have to be up working on material. I got to be up working on lectures. I got to be catching up on contracts. I got to be figuring out flights. Like there's just always something going on. And then I like to watch wrestling, so I have to watch that. So yeah, there's a lot to do, but if you love what you do, like you do it, you make the sacrifice, you go on the journey. I've slept in rental cars all over the place. Like my wife would get mad, but I'm like, I'm not going to go spend money on a hotel when I only have 3 hours before I have to get up and go to the airport. I just sleep in the car. Like it's fine, and that's what you do.
Yep, it's kind of a crazy world out there doing those conventions and making the efforts that. And I've had people sometimes as I met so and so, and he just wasn't a real nice person. He wasn't very friendly at all, and like you don't realize that these guys what their effort are. He may have had like 2 hours sleep last night,
Right.
and you're the 20,000th person now that came and said, "I love this show and I love what you did on this and this." And it's like after a while, it's like Yeah. Okay. Great. Fine. Thanks. Next. And so yeah, it's
And
just.
that's just how John Zaffis is.
I was gonna say there was one of two that you might have thought of. It might have been, but you nailed one of them. So
You know what? One of my favorite things to do is, and this is horrible, but it's true. Sometimes you'll be at a convention like 2 or 3 days, and someone will come to you and they'll just keep telling you the story, and like I don't have an answer. Like if I haven't investigated the place, it's a personal experience. You're showing me one photo. I can only offer you insight from my other experiences, but I can't tell you about your house. Like I don't know. And sometimes they'll go on and on about it, and I'm like, and I'll just go back to my answer. I'm like, yeah, it might be this, but I'm not really sure. And then they'll just keep going again. And so what I find is fun for me is I say, you know who'll know? And I bring them to John's table, and I introduce him to John's house, and then he just looks at me, and I go back to my table, and I'm a happy boy.
Until John comes over, it's like
He comes over, and he's like crimson from like the neck up, all purple, the beard's all white and angry. Oh, it's great.
John,
You need to keep the, like I always tell people, like I think I can't remember if there ever was one, but pretty much anytime I do a convention, the first thing I do is I get the chair they give me and I put it to the side. I put my suitcase on it or my merchandise, whatever it is, because I always feel like people work really hard for their money, and whatever these events are that it's taxing for us to fly and to get to and do whatever, they're also doing the same. And they're paying their hard-earned money to come see whoever at these events. And I know as a fan, when I've gone to events before and I see somebody like barely holding their head up and they're just like sitting with their back turned to their table, it's not inviting, So I always want to be standing and like smiling and try to be like interactive. And it takes a lot out of you. It draws every last bit of energy. But it's like I just want everyone to, like, if I'm going to be in an event, for me personally, it's important to always be on, always be up, always be accessible, always have a good time, joke around a lot. Like, and it passes the time for me too. It's more fun if I'm having fun doing it, And if some of that fun is bringing people over to meet John Zaffis, so be it.
and by standing up, there's a better chance that you're not going to get that picture flying around the internet and on all the paranormal pages of John Zappis sleeping in the chair at an event. So.
There was like a string of events where he was always getting massages from women. I'm like, what is going on over here? He's always leaning forward and then rubbing his neck and his back. I'm like, John, what kind of gimmick you running? God bless him.
It's Zappis. He gets away with it. So
yeah, he does.
We old guys like that can. I think John's like a day or 2 days younger than I am.
Oh, so, well, let's not say that. No, he's got to be at least 3 years older.
So, in fact, when he was out at Ashmore, and when you guys were both there, I came over to him. I said, John, I need one of your books. He said, all right. He said, here. He said, and I said, could you sign it for me? He said, yeah. And I started paying for it. He's like, no, just take it. I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. He's like, take them. I'm not even gonna say the adjectives. You know what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, he's like, take the book. And I said, well, thanks. I said, he said something about. I said, you really need to respect your elders. You're 1 day older than I am. Shut up. Just take the book. So he's a good guy.
He is. Yeah.
I did a show with him a couple of weeks ago. We did the Odyssey Directors Roundtable show, and I referred to Johnny as the Betty White of the paranormal. And I'm trying to make that name stick. I think it really defines who he is. If you think about it, like most of our elders are gone, like Rosemary passed away, and Johnny's like the last one from that era that was up there, so right. He's our Betty White. God bless him.
Yep. He's been around there for a little while now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Indeed.
I always remember Rosemary. I've got actually I bought 3 Frank's boxes from Frank Sumption. I've got 3 of Frank's boxes that Rosemary owned. And I bought them off her at an event I was at. So, somebody says about buying some of my boxes. I'm like, they won't sell any of those. And especially some of these like that they've got a special meaning besides being Frank's boxes. They came from Rosemary. And so, but it was.
That's very, very special for sure. Because there's not a lot of Frank's boxes out there that are legit. and very few that are owned by Rosemary for sure.
Yeah, I think these were like in the 20s. The
Oh,
numbers that Frank put on, like low 20s or something like that
wow,
she had.
that's cool.
So,
Very nice.
so now, do you equipment wise, Dustin? What do you have any special equipment that you like to use when you do investigations, or anything you don't like, or
I'm
suggestions?
I'm I'm getting cantankerous like old man Zaffis. I don't like a lot of equipment around. Um, for when we're filming for the show, like okay, like you need to have a certain amount of things um, that they need you to have out there. If you're doing a case for a homeowner, you want to have something that you can point back to. I try to streamline it. Like I feel like voice recorders are always an easy thing to have around. You don't need to do a lot of work with them. You don't need to stare at them the whole time. I always felt like when you go out and you do some of these events, people can, again, we don't all need to sing from the same hymnal. I say it all the time. You can do whatever you like, use whatever you like, as long as you're being respectful and doing things in the right way. But I see people that are glued behind, the camera, and then in this hand is the K2 meter and the REM pods in the corner. And it's like you're so busy focusing on what's lighting up and what you're looking at. I feel like you're missing what's around. Back when we could still go to concerts, like you would go to a concert, everybody be standing there with their phone up recording the act. No one's going to watch that video. It's going to suck, first of all. The audio quality is going to be garbage. Nobody wants to watch your secondhand video of Kiss perform. But you're missing the full opportunity to absorb that because you're half-heartedly documenting it, And I kind of feel it's like that with paranormal investigation. We're so busy trying to document things that we miss a lot of what's going on. For me, to be able to glimpse that other side, to be that close to the spiritual realm is an incredible gift. And despite how much time you put into it, the opportunities you get are very rare. They're few and far between. And no matter what you record, no matter what you document, there's always going to be somebody who listens to it or watches it and hates it and thinks it's garbage or thinks it's fake. I've been doing this since I was 15. And at this point, anybody who's going to believe in what I do and who I am is going to believe it. And anybody who isn't. And I'm not out there to try to prove it to anybody. And I don't need to prove the afterlife to anybody. I know in my soul what's real, and I hope other people do as well, just for their own spiritual well-being. Whether you believe in paranormal or you want to watch ghost shows or whatever, I think it's good for the soul to know that there's more to this life than what we see every day. And trying to document that, to me, doesn't do anything to bring it forward. And for, like I said, if I do a home case for somebody, I'll run an audio recorder. If I get a handy cam or whatever, I'll put it in the corner and just leave it on a wide shot. So I'm not constantly behind it. I'm not constantly being taken out of the moment. I feel like our ancestors communicated greatly with spirit without any of those things. And I think that we have been made to feel like we are weak when we are powerful beyond measure, where our capabilities are so much greater. But we've been told that we can't do things anymore, so we stop trying to do them. I have a new lecture called Plus Ultra. And I just did it the other night for the first time, and I'm excited to perform it again. But one of the things I talk about is, like, from paranormal investigating standpoint, when's the last time you tried to use your own psychokinetic power to move an object? Maybe you've tried once or twice in your life, but you've never made a ritualistic schedule of every Tuesday from this hour to this hour, I'm going to focus on this one item and try to move this thing. And try to see if you can develop that type or unleash or unharness that type of ability. And I just think that we are capable of more than we believe, but we've been made to think that we can't do things, and we've been made to be reliant upon technology. You go to an investigation, everyone unpacks all the equipment. It's like, I like to sit in a room, absorb the feeling of it, get aware of what the sounds are naturally, try to make a spiritual plea for somebody to try to connect without looking at something that lights up all the time, And a very simple example that I use all the time is, like, when I was in high school, I knew all my buddies' phone numbers. I knew my parents' phone numbers, my grandmother, my aunt, the girls that I was dating. And now it's like I know like maybe 5 phone numbers. Like, everything else is in here. I have to rely on the phone for everything. I have to rely on my GPS to get me place to place, where before I could drive throughout at least all of Rhode Island without a problem. I delivered pizza for a long time, so I learned a lot of the map, But now it's like no one even makes that effort anymore because the computer can do it. The robot can do it. The K2 will light up if there's a spirit nearby. And I just don't buy into all of that stuff. I think it should come down more to a soul on soul type thing. And I think that needs to be done through practice, through guided meditation, through reading and learning more about our spirituality and what we're capable of doing. And I feel like our ancestors had a wonderful grip upon those things, especially the Native Americans, just coming from our own culture and our own understandings. I think had a great way of communicating with the spiritual realm and respect for the spirit world. And I feel like we've lost a hell of a lot of that.
You know, there's some graffiti out at Ashmore that says on the one wall, he said, it says, open your mind and listen. These walls can talk. Open your mind and listen.
Mm-hmm.
And when people come out there, a lot of times they'll ask me what to do. And I'm like, get a chair, sit, and just listen to the building. Let it come to you. Because if they want to talk, they'll come to you. You don't need to try to chase them all around the place. They'll come talk to you. And I think that makes a big difference sometimes out there.
Yeah, agreed. I agree. I think taking a more cerebral approach to trying to contact the other side, like if you're going to try to do an EVP session, speak to things of importance to them, stay away from the stupid cliche stuff. And you can't blame people that are, new to the field, new investigators. They see, on TV or whatever, movies, and they just go by that. We all start somewhere. That's fine. But make sure that you grow and that you evolve and you don't just continue to parrot the same things and repeat all the same things. You learn what works. And I think for myself, my greatest period of growth was when I was overseas. I had a lot of downtime when we weren't filming. And Barry and I would read a lot of books about spirituality. Barry and I would work on guided meditation. We'd work on ways to connect without using all the devices. And I feel like that's important. And the energy of the people that you work with on certain investigations, there's certain people that I work with, and it just seems like everything opens up. And other people, it seems like everything kind of closes down. It doesn't mean they're bad people. We get along great. But just for some reason, the energy when it comes to trying to contact the other side doesn't work as well. So I think that a lot of it has to be kind of gauged, and it's this unseen thing that we really can't quantify.
Yep. No, I agree 100%. It's people need to sit back and just pay more attention to what's going on. But Lauren mentioned something about that she missed some of this. You can always go back because these are always on our Facebook pages with either Rhodes Hotel, Ashmore Estates, or right here on the radio show or the radio station itself. Or you can go to our YouTube channel. Yep, you can go there and watch it as well. So you can always catch up to us one place or the other there.
Going back to what you were just talking about, like I have times here that it gets late at night. I can't sleep. There's nothing on TV. I don't grab anything. I just go over in the hotel and I'll just find a spot. I'll just sit, hang out, just pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah. I think you find out a lot more that way, just kind of be aware of your surroundings and interact with what wants to interact with you. Setting up a bunch of things that light up that really don't do much in terms of communication, don't really do too much in terms of furthering the study or the case or the understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, Katie had a question there from about the researcher and all with home cases. I kind of think you're doing a little bit of everything. Home cases are always tough because so many people are like, I don't mind helping people when they contact me about stuff. But the last time I talked to somebody, I was going through everything, spent hours with them on the phone, and I called them the last time, made an appointment to come over. She's like, so do you think this will be something they'll want to put on TV?
Right.
And I'm like, have a nice day. So I'm done. So it's like, no. Especially when she tells me it's hurting her, it's harming her kids and everything. And first thing is like, why haven't you moved?
Right.
And she's like, well, because we're hoping it goes away, or maybe you can get it to go away. I'm like, I can't get it to go away. It wants to stay, it's going to stay there. And then she's like, well, do you think it'd be good for the TV show? I'm like, nah, I'm done with you. So
there is a lot of that. There is a lot of that, which is very off-putting. The last home case I did is just north of here in Massachusetts. My buddy Cody and I went to the house several times, went there with Satori one time and had great communication sessions, tried to give the homeowners an appreciation and understanding of what was going on. And they were very receptive. They were very open to it, understanding of it. But for that one case, there's a dozen other emails that I get about, I need you to come out here. I need you to come out here. And then when I say, okay, well, give me a log of the activity. Tell me what goes on for the next 2 weeks. Tell me the time. Tell me who's there. Tell me what happens. And they're like, oh, I don't have time to do all that. It's like, well, okay, then this can't be that serious of a matter, Or when they're like, oh, can you see if this could be on Ghost Hunters? I'm like, that's not what I do, And there is, especially this time of year, like the inbox lights up. It's Halloween. People are thinking about these things more. It's more prevalent. It's in advertising. It's on TV. So now people are paying more attention to this kind of stuff. And a lot of people want the house to be haunted. And then when you go there and you give them logical explanations as to why it's not, they get mad. Okay. But there's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do. Sometimes you're not going to please people. It's like they already have their agenda. And that's okay. That's fine.
Did you freeze up there, Robin?
He's sitting very, very still.
I was just to say he's either really still or like he's frozen. He might be frozen.
Yeah, I think he's frozen.
Right. Maybe he'll pop back up in a minute. Oh well, we'll catch him here in a few. Something maybe. Won't we? This happened right before we came on. That's why it took us a minute to come on here.
As long as I didn't put him to sleep with my talking, we did all right, I guess.
And I think, you've seen the things where people will take the picture, like when they're doing the Zoom meetings, and that's what he's doing, right?
Yeah, it is.
He's like sleeping on us. He's sleeping on us, and maybe he'll come back. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen anything on here, but I don't know.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. We can keep it going, right? So,
yeah, indeed, brother. Always.
Yeah.
Always good.
But I mean,
everything been good at the hotel, man?
Not too bad. It's been pretty busy. It's looked pretty solid. I think we had like one Saturday that's open for the rest of the year, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's pretty busy and quite a few people coming in, and the public investigations we do every month. Those are going well. We usually sell those out every month, and then we did September, October, November. We're doing like full overnight public investigations too. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of interesting that we brought those back to do a little, a few things with those.
How many years has it been, Mike? 4 or 5 years?
Having this place, 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
4 years. I remember seeing the photos when you first bought it, and talk about all the plans and all the work you guys had to do there and everything.
Yeah. It's so crazy. This wall back here behind me is actually the original back wall to the back of the hotel.
Really? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you're able to keep a lot of that stuff kind of natural the way it was?
Yeah. We're having to do some work. We're doing renovations and stuff. We're trying to update some stuff, but kind of keep that same old feel to it, But this room here, this is the room I stay in, and this wall is original. We have the old little squared off nails are still in the wall back here from it. Yes, it's kind of cool. When we came in, it was kind of remodeling and stuff, and that paint was still on there, so we just kind of gave it a sand down and stained over, put a stain over it, and it's like, why not just leave it like it is, right?
Right, it's a lot of character,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Indeed.
Of course, that's one part though that people don't see. People seeing it now, but this is my area, so nobody ever comes back here. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, so everybody's kind of seeing that one little area, like seeing the wall that nobody ever sees.
Right, looking behind the scenes. Nice.
What's that?
You're looking behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. And then, we got to get you out here sometime. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to come out, man, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, things are getting easier to move around now and stuff, so it'd be fine, It's all good.
Yeah. And there he is. He decided to come back from his nap. Now we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
There, sir. Oh, no. Problems. The man's got problems.
Yeah. he muted us. He muted it way we wouldn't hear him snore, right?
Yeah, maybe that was it. That was it, indeed.
We still don't hear you.
I
don't know what's going on.
Terry mentioned that I am a big fan of the Haunted Mansion. Indeed, all of my paraphernalia here. That's what I enjoy collecting. So I have a lot of Disney Haunted Mansion stuff. I'm excited about the Muppets show Haunted Mansion crossover that's coming out. So that should be really cool to see on Disney Plus this month. And somebody had asked Mike if renovations turned up activity over there at Rhodes. I'm sure something happened, right?
It did, yeah. It did. It did stir up things, and I don't know if I told you this either, but at one time, like actually right behind the monitor here that we're talking on, there was a cross in the wall. Actually, it's still there. Mm-hmm. There was like this glass-looking cross that was probably 10 to 12 inches tall, and Robbin was here. My parents, my sister was in here, and we at some point Robbin like handed my sister like a hammer and was just like, take the wall out because we're gonna have to redo some things in this room. She goes right over to this area and just pops a hole in the wall and everything, start pulling it out. And she's like, there's something in there.
Yeah. So
we're like, there is, So then Robbin walks over and starts kind of pulling things out. Next thing you know, there's a nail in there and there's a cross hanging off of it.
Wow, that's cool.
So, yeah, it was odd. And then so people ask me like, what did you do with it? I left it. Yeah. Two thoughts. I'm like, the main thing is I'm like, whoever put it there, for whatever reason they put it there, who am I to remove it? Right. So, I'll leave it. But then there's that little bit in the back of your mind saying, what if?
Right.
What if I just remove this and everything just starts going crazy?
Right. Yeah.
So
I'd say it doesn't do any harm to leave it there, so it's all right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, whoever put it there, for whatever reason they put it there, who am I to?
It's a cool story too, Like
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. So. Yeah, so there's just like I'm waiting on that day when I'm years down the road and I'm gone, and the next person comes in and remodels and they're gonna be like, this Mike guy was weird because he's got to put a cross in the wall. It's like, yeah, waiting for that one.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Robbin's gonna make it back or what. He's having all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, he popped up and he couldn't get audio, then he was gone, then he came back again. Poor fella.
Yeah. We'll give him a minute and see if he pops back in. If you're okay with hanging out for a few more minutes.
Yeah, sure, man.
I know you're probably busy. Oh wait, Robbin said he can see and hear but can't log on for some reason.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Strange things happen.
Yeah. He said, so be careful.
That's right. You never know what's going to happen now.
Maybe. Yeah, so maybe he didn't hear the part where we said that he just kind of bounced off and napping or something. And
done.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. So it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it back. So. Yeah, so I guess we can wrap up if you'd like, because I know you're busy. Right. You have things to do. You've had a busy evening and stuff, but we appreciate you coming
on the road again later this year, man. It'll be nice.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like the next time I will see you will be in Vegas.
Yeah,
December. So it'll be a good time. And for everybody else, thanks for tuning in and checking out the show. And sorry for Robbins. He's watching and listening, but he's not here to say goodbye. So I'll say goodnight for you guys, and thanks for tuning in. Dustin, always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you again for coming on to the show tonight with us, and we will see you sometime soon. And I guess we'll just say goodnight to everybody, and leave it at that. How's that?
Sounds good, brother. I'll see you on the road. I want to be a part of one of those "That's How I Lost My Leg" photos. So we'll do that in Vegas. We'll figure out something fun.
Yeah, we'll have to do something. Yeah, be thinking, and we'll come up some good ones. Maybe if you have multiple ideas, we'll do a bunch of them.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me, and God bless you, and Robbin as well. And thanks everybody for catching up with us tonight.
All right, well, thanks again, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks, guys. Good night. See you, Dustin.
Bye bye.
See you guys.
My name is Mike, and I'm the founder of the Lost Limbs Foundation. The Lost Limbs Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides assistance to amputee children in need of prosthetics. I started the charity after my own struggles after my leg being amputated just above the knee. Prosthetics cost thousands of dollars, and the average lifespan is 5 to 7 years on a prosthetic. Kids are constantly growing, so they'll go through multiple prosthetics throughout their life. This is the prosthetic leg that I use, and the cost was about $70,000. The Rhodes Hotel is in Atlanta, Indiana, and is owned and operated by the Lost Limbs Foundation. We are currently doing photo shoots, ghost hunts, and special events to help raise money for the charity. For more information, you can go to lostlimbsfoundation.org. With your help, we can help these kids one step at a time.